it is 2023 and we are still fat shaming people. What is wrong with the world? What is wrong with everybody? Why are we still body shaming people? Why are we still fat shaming people? Why is it we can't just go and leave people alone? Why do we feel the need to body shame people for their weight, for what they look like? Why is that still necessary? Why is it still necessary to look at a plus size person and assume that they're lazy or they overeat? Why is it still necessary to look at somebody who is on the slimmer side and assume that they are anorexic and obviously got issues? Did you know that there are actual people that just struggle to put weight on? They have no mental conditions, they have no disorders, they have no food issues. They just eat like most people. Sometimes it's incredible how much they can eat. They just don't put weight on, and they get slandered for it. It causes more problems, more mental health issues than if we just left them be. You can tell when someone has a mental health disorder, you can tell when somebody has mental health issues. There are behaviours, there are patterns of behaviours that happen when people have mental health issues or mental health disorders. And people who are just normal, everyday people who just happen to be plus size or tiny, will not exhibit those behaviours. My son has one friend. One friend. He's autistic. He has one friend. One. And his friend is the stickiest person. I mean, he's like stick thin. He is. There's nothing on him. He's like nearly 6 foot tall and he looks like a stick. People would look at him and go, there's nothing of him, he's obviously got something wrong with him. But he eats like I've never seen anyone eat like him. He eats as well as my son does, and probably more. He just doesn't put weight on. It's incredible, realistically. I've never seen anything like it. But he's the type of person that as he gets older will be shamed for looking like that, for looking like he never eats, because he does look like the type of person who doesn't eat. He's just a stick of a figure. And then you get someone like me who's completely plus size. There's nothing tiny about me. I am a plus size person. My weight goes up and down like there's no tomorrow. I struggle to control my weight. I have struggled to control my weight since I was 28. After I had my son at 21, I unknowingly grew a tumour. But I lost the weight everywhere, but abdominally, because I grew a tumour there. Didn't know about it. But I lost all the weight everywhere else. I mean, once I got rid of the tumour, I looked great. Then I had more surgeries and never lost the weight since. The weight kind of grew back on. And from 29 onwards, I've not been capable of controlling my weight. I've been in and out of hospitals, in and out of surgeries, in and out of doctor's appointments, and I've been sick a lot. And it's had a massive effect on my weight, on my body. And it's not surprising. I'm now on multiple medications for neurological disorder and abdominal pain. Those medications have an effect as well. And now I have a subhypothyroidism. Now, yesterday when I got my results, I was told over the phone that it was actual hypothyroidism. I actually did have a clinical hypothyroidism. That's what I was told when I got the results. When I actually spoke to my doctor, I was informed that it was borderline hypothyroidism. My thyroid works, but only just. It's only just hanging in there. Which I should be grateful for, really, because it still works. It only just works, but it's still going. So I'm borderline. It could repair itself and I could be fine. Or it could go the other way and completely conk out on me. We'll know in 3 months' time when I have another blood test. But hypothyroidism comes with weight gain. I've been struggling with my weight for years. I lose it, I look great, and within a few months, doesn't matter that I don't change anything, doesn't matter that the way I eat hasn't changed or the way I exercise doesn't change, the weight comes back on. It will then go back off and come back on and go back off. I hate it. It doesn't matter what I do or how I do it. I cannot change the fact that my weight goes up and down. I hate being past a certain weight because it makes me uncomfortable. I am getting to a point right now where I am, 14.5 stone, and I hate it. I'm beginning to feel extremely uncomfortable. But that's me. But it's uncomfortable because I'm not well. And it's how I feel personally. But there are people that I know around me who are bigger than me and can run absolute fucking rings around me because they're actually healthy. Actually healthy. I mean, there is one woman that I know, she's bigger than I am, and you know what? She runs fucking marathons. She's incredible. If I could do that, it would be incredible. I'd love that. I'd love to be able to run a marathon. But she is extremely insecure. I mean, she's an incredible woman, this woman. I mean, she has an extremely healthy lifestyle. She is very healthy within herself. She just can't, she even does her own fitness thing. She's a fitness coach. She's incredible, for what she does. But for whatever reason, she doesn't seem to be able to lose the weight. It's not an issue. It's not a problem. Because actually, she's incredible. And super fit. Eats really healthily, super fit, and, whatever. But she can't look herself in the mirror without feeling upset with herself because she feels really insecure. Don't get why. She's beautiful. She's amazing. Love her. But we should not be tearing each other down. Big people should never be classed as lazy and unhealthy and whatever, because there could be a number of different reasons why they can't lose weight or why they're bigger in the first place. There could be 100 different reasons. They could have a health condition, or they could be on a medication that causes weight gain. It might not be their actual medical condition that's caused the weight gain. It might be it might be the medication they're taking for it, and they can't come off it. So, there could be a number of different reasons. Or it could just be because they have such a low esteem that they're struggling to see themselves the way they are. And having low self-esteem and low self-confidence has an effect on your body. And it really does. When you have low self-esteem and low confidence, it will have a massive effect on your body. When you have confidence and a high sense of self, it will trickle down to the rest of you and you will begin to feel better, and actually it will help you lose weight. It has been proven scientifically. Has actually been proven. You know, so people with so low self-esteem will find it really hard to lose weight as well. You know, does not necessarily mean they're lazy just because they're plus size. And people who are plus size, who have struggled to lose weight in the past and cannot lose weight for whatever reason, and have severe health conditions, should never be shamed for taking drastic action, like things like gastric sleeves, gastric bands, you know, going under surgeries to try and correct the problem and help themselves lose that weight. You know, they should never have to be shamed for that, because it's nobody else's business. Even if it's an influencer or a content creator that is going over this and telling the whole world that they're going to do this, you know, they should never be shamed for it or be told they're disappointing their fans because they're trying to be healthier. You know, I follow a content creator who is plus size. She makes hairdressing skits, she's incredible, and she has an amazing body image. But she has health issues, and she's decided that for her health, she's going to get a gastric sleeve. And she got a hell of a lot of support for it, and then she got a hell of a lot of hate for it. Told that she was disappointing her fans, that she should never do it, she shouldn't try to change herself. But it was for her health, not because she hates who she is. You know, nobody should be shamed for who they are or for wanting to change how they look, regardless of their reasoning. Body shaming should never happen in this day and age. And even if you are the slimmest person on the planet, you should never get hate for that either. If you are super skinny, like my son's friend, you will also get hate. I've seen it happen. I've seen people who are on the super skinny side get hate and get told to eat more and to stop having, you know, asked why they, you know, if they have an eating disorder and why aren't they eating, and, you know, have food shoved at them because people believe that they've got something wrong with them, you know, and they get shamed for being so skinny and looking like they actually should be underweight when they're really not. They just don't seem to put weight on. It's just something they just don't do. You know, they're perfectly healthy, they're perfectly fine, there's nothing actually wrong with them. It's just that no matter how hard they eat, no matter how much they eat or what they do, they don't put the weight on. And they have the exact opposite problem that plus size people have. You know, and it's horrible because you can sit there and go, well, actually, they're in the same boat. They're just at opposite ends of the scale. You've got the plus size people being shamed for trying to help themselves, and the skinny end of the scale, the people that struggle to put weight on because they're getting shamed because they look underweight when they're really not. You know, and the weirdest thing is, the people who are being shamed, the people who are doing the shaming, the people who are fat shaming and the people who are body shaming are those that are either of normal weight or those that are on the plus side. They don't like people who are plus side to change themselves because they don't think it's an issue. It's not an issue if you're healthy. But if you've got serious health conditions because of your weight, there's nothing wrong with trying to change that. You shouldn't be shamed for it. And if you've got nothing wrong with you, there's no reason for you to be shamed. There's just nothing wrong with people who are on the super skinny side. Just because you're of normal weight, doesn't mean they aren't either. They just don't look like they've got normal weight. They just look different. You know, they're just perfectly healthy. They just look like they're not. There's nothing actually wrong with them. You know, you can spot somebody who has a mental health disorder or a mental health illness, mental health issues. There are patterns of behaviour with them. There actually are, and it doesn't matter what kind of disorder it is or what kind of mental health issue it is, there are patterns of behaviour. They are very inward, they behave in certain manners. They are usually very inward, they're usually very negative. And it doesn't matter what it is, that's how they are. They have a very poor, very low sense of self, very low confidence. People with mental health issues, they are not bright, bubbly people. They are low and negative and have issues with everything. They don't believe in themselves. You know, they're not very sociable. You know, and even when they can be sociable, you'll find that it's really hard for them to be around that many people, or around people full stop. And you know, if they have mental health disorders, you'll find that there's patterns in their behaviour depending on what the disorder is. You know, it's easy to find, and if you look up how they're behaving, it will tell you, you know, whether something's going on or not. But if you actually talk to somebody in an actual, you know, as an actual human being rather than judgmental, they will tell you if something's, you know, that you'll pick it up. You know, instead of judging someone who is super skinny or judging them for being overweight or plus size, and you know, why don't you actually have a conversation? You'll learn a lot more than if you just judge them and sneer at them or assume things about them. You know, because it's not always easy to be judged and treated like you belong in a category just because of what you look like. And just to make it very, very clear, this has nothing to do with the colour of your skin. Culture and country of origin has nothing to do with being judged, because we socially separate and segregate ourselves anyway. We've always done that. Personal appearance and whether you be super skinny and plus size has nothing to do with country of origin, your culture, and the colour of your skin. We have to evolve. Stop behaving like we're still in the 80s and treating each other like we're idiots, like we're incapable of making decisions about ourselves. Got to stop judging each other on our physical appearance, and the world will be a better place. So instead of judging people, being fat phobic, or just judging people full stop on how they look, what size they are, you know, how big are your clothes, how big are your hips, What size clothes do you wear? Are you plus size or extremely too skinny and looking anorexic? When the reality is you're really not. We need to learn to be more tolerant and actually talk to each other rather than judge one another. You might learn a lot more than you can imagine. There is so much knowledge out there that we lose by judging